All right, hello everyone. My name is Monique Gonzalez. I'm the Student Employment Specialist here on campus, and today's presentation will cover our on-campus student employment. All right, so for starters, the CWU Student Employment Office is housed in the Human Resources Department. We're located in Mitchell Hall on the first floor, and our contact number is 509-963-1202. We are currently and remotely open Monday through Friday, so that is virtual. We can make appointments and still handle a lot of business Monday through Friday from 8 to 5. And then we have our student employment website. We can be reached at the cwu.edu/student-employment. So a popular question is, why would students want to work for CW Student Employment? So for starters, it's amazing that students can work on campus with reduced hours. So it's a great opportunity for students to work on their school and work-life balance. So we do have a maximum 20 hours that students can work per week. If students are working on campus, this is an opportunity to save gas by being able to walk to class or walk to work, from work to class. So that's a great opportunity there as well. Supervisors on campus are willing to work with school schedules, so they're much more flexible to be able to accommodate school and class needs. Most student jobs and departments will train the individual, so that's also a plus. And then it's a great way for students to meet other students and connect with the on-campus employment and really connect with other folks on campus. So next we have our eligibility. Students are eligible to work for CWU student on-campus employment if they are enrolled in a minimum of 6 credits. For our graduate students, that would be a minimum of 5 credits. And then we have certain criteria. So students that are enrolled between 6 and 11 credits can work on average 15 hours per week, or the average is 69 hours per month. And then our full-time undergrad students that are enrolled in 12 or more credits or 10 or more credits for our graduate students can work up to that maximum of 20 hours per week. So working on campus, there is a company that we work with called Hire Right that we work in processing to do background checks for all students. So all students do have to pass their background check to be able, to be offered work on campus. So that's just a heads up for students to be aware. And then we like to let people know that having their I-9 materials ready to go is really important. So having your passport, having your driver's license or state ID, social security card, birth certificate, ready to go once you apply for work is going to help you in the long run. And then we do have a link listed below here that will take you to the actual document online. So if you're interested in wanting to know exactly which documents work for which columns and the process a little bit more in depth, by all means, we would highlight that you can check out that resource as well. And then the best part of all is that CWU does have career services on campus, which is a great resource for students, as applying for jobs on campus do require often a resume, a cover letter. There's interviewing that can happen, students being prepared with an elevator pitch. So we'd like to throw out just this wonderful resource to work with our career services, which they're located in Bullion Hall, room 206, and I believe that they're available virtually as well. So check them out. And then where would students look for jobs on campus? So we have a new pathway that if students are logged into their MyCWU account and then click on the student tab, go down to student employment and then click on campus, it will actually connect you straight into the careers network, our career board, where all of our student jobs are posted. And then following that same pathway, if you're looking for off-campus work, right underneath our tab on the on-campus, if you were to click off-campus work, you could also explore that option as well. And then if anyone would like to be notified or know as to which particular jobs are available that we're recruiting for currently, by all means, we would encourage students to check out our Facebook page. It's our CWU Student Employment. Or following the same pathway through your MyCWU student tab, student employment, and then again clicking on campus will take you into our career board. And then we suggest for students to click on the opportunity off to the side where it's listed filter by student jobs, and then it will only show relevant jobs for students. So that's a great resource and a good place to look for current recruitment. And that just covers the basics of student employment on campus. And if anyone has questions, you can feel free to reach out. My name again is Monique Gonzalez. My phone number 509-963-1267 or our main line 1202.
I will ask a question, and I apologize. That noise in my background is my dog snoring. The question is, so I saw that you had, right, if they're enrolled full-time, that they can work up to 20 hours a week, and if they're what, 6 to 11 credits, they can work 15 hours a week. What happens if you have a student who, you know, the 6th week of the quarter goes from 15 credits down to 10 because they drop a class? Do they have to reduce their hours?
So undergraduate student? Yeah, so our office does try to adhere to those guidelines. So if a student at any point, even during the quarter, drops below the 6 credit mark, that does affect employment on campus. So we do really encourage the supervisors and students to adhere to the amount of hours based on the credits that they're enrolled in.
Thanks.
And also payroll will give you a notice and give the student a notice too.
Good to know. I haven't had that happen yet, so.
And they also watch the summer, you know, if you have a student working during summer.
For overages?
Well, to see if they have put in at least 6 credits for fall, enrolled in 6 credits for fall quarter.
That is
because if they don't need to be enrolled in classes for summer to work. They just need to be enrolled in fall quarter to work, summer quarter.
correct.
Does that make sense?
Well, you brought up a great point, honestly, Tricia. So for student employment and summer availability and break status, a lot of students do ask that question. So the restrictions do apply specifically to students while they're in term. And so then when they're in break status, they are eligible to work full-time or 40+ hours, whatever that looks like within that department specifically. And so summer is a tricky one because if they're attending classes, then the intern rules apply until they're done with class. And then if they're not, but they are enrolled for fall, then correct, they can work full-time 40 hours under break rules.
And another good thing to keep in mind too is normally when I have a full range of students, and we were doing face-to-face orientation, it was like, okay, when is your final? When is your last final? And so once they were done with their finals, then they could put in more hours that week. So say their last final was Tuesday evening, then come Wednesday, they could put in more hours.
Correct. Yes, to reiterate, that's when the break technically goes into effect for the student once they've completed their finals for the quarter.
And another question then, just to get a sense in case any students are watching this recording, we have a large number of jobs, I'm guessing typically in a non-COVID quarter in dining and library. Are those the biggies? Are there grounds crew? You know, I don't know. Tell me, what are the big areas that CW hires in?
Yeah. So you're correct. Dining services, our recreation department, our learning commons department. We're seeing housing with our RAs is another large group. The Wildcat Shop has several students working. So it's difficult to say in the COVID times currently, but some other popular ones are aviation, our theater department, library services, our aquatics team. I'd probably say the most common question on orientation and just working with students are what kind of jobs are available outside of the ones that you can actively see. So recreation and dining are ones that students can visually see, but they don't always know that there's a lot of departments on campus, and a lot of departments typically will have at least 1 to 2, if not several students working within those departments. So it's kind of nice to encourage students to look out, and if they can find a link of a job that works with what they're interested in going to school for or for their future career, that's even better. So yeah.
Well, and I'll put in a pitch then, because if there are future transfer students listening, the Transfer Center hires peer ambassadors, and I often find that I can only get them for 1 year. because I hire them in their second year here and they're graduating. And so, so I'm always on the lookout for good students.
Awesome.
And here at the Linwood Center, in a non-COVID environment, we would have 6 to 8 computer lab assistants, 1 to 2 office assistants. Brenda may hire 1 library assistant, and Maury, who does our distant education, he will hire 2 to 3 people to work to monitor the classes and connect Linwood to, say, Des Moines, or Linwood to Des Moines and Ellensburg. So, and make sure that the connections are working so students can hear. And that is pretty much it for here at Linwood Center.
Great.
Well, I want to thank you both, Monica and Joy. Thank you so much for putting together the presentation and being willing to be here to help transfer students. As I've mentioned to other people, that every time I contact you guys, you're helpful and friendly to people that are doing things sometimes for the first time. So thank you so much. And Shannon, I think we can go ahead and stop the recording, and we'll post it later on the website.